이 정도 지적이 아닌가 보네.
조금 길어져.
방향을 이렇게 못하나?
Okay, so we're about to start our next session now. For those of you who are looking to move to the technology room, unifying payments, please move now before you miss out. Otherwise, in here, it's about blockchain, unlocking new frontiers and possibilities. I'd like to introduce William Lee, who is a global business leader, Chief Business Development Officer at ONDA. He's an experienced business development specialist with a demonstrated history of working in the computer software in the hospitality and tourism industry. So we're going to be looking at showcasing membership management with blockchain tech, looking at golf management and various add-ons, and achieving intuitive, easy and fast property management. Will give his presentation, and then we'll come up and have a Q&A session for you guys who would like to delve deeper into his presentation. Over to Will. Thank you.
It's almost double the size compared to last year IHTF, and I'm very happy about it. And I think the COVID is going to be over by the time, so I think our hospitality industry will strikingly rise up by the time. So today, empowering hospitality with blockchain itself. Lots of people, we always talk about blockchains, but especially hospitality industry, nobody really knows what blockchain is and how we're going to implement those technologies into the industry itself. So before we move on, I will do my presentation in this order, and I will talk about our company first, which is ONDA here. Yeah, sorry about the casual dress code, but I want to promote my company. So anyways, so we are a tech company that develops PMS system, as everyone knows. We also have a golf PMS, channel management system, booking engine, global distribution system that solely concentrated into a hospitality industry. And we have a very strong membership management system, which actually links to the blockchain technology that we're going to talk today. And we also have the hardware, for example, keyless door lock system. And we also have a GSA and management services in Korea right now. So this is one of our strengths, which is the ONDA Hub, the GDS system. So if you guys are willing to sell your property in Korea, you can just have one contract with us, then we will sell 47 different sales channels in Korea, which is very efficient way to sell your property in Korea region. And we're trying to expand those channels internationally right now. And when we see the numbers of ONDA, we have more than 400 million US dollar accumulated in transactions. And we have 47 different channels. We have 600,000 rooms in our databases, and 25 million fund raise is done until now. And we have 51 paying users around the world with 16 different countries. So we call ourselves as a lead hospitality industry by tech and data. But we wanted to call ourselves as the best friend of yours. The reason is that our system is fully customizable depending on what you guys need and what you guys want. So, branding, let's go to the topic. So I'm so glad to hear the branding and the marketing at the end of the panel discussion. So to move on to the blockchain technology, talking about branding is very important because that's where we're gonna talk about the communities and etc. It's very interesting that brand value, the top 5 brand value companies actually listed in top 10 market cap companies. For example, Apple, everyone knows the Apple, right? And Apple, they're so famous even in branding, and they're doing good in the business itself too. And Google, Microsoft, and Amazon, and Facebook, on and on, they're all listed there. So we already know by the concepts that brand image is very important, that it's related to a business in market cap. And there's an interesting marketing value chain table here. You see that branding is brand preference, which is one step after the marketing investments. And it will lead up to the customer behavior, also business outcomes, and in the end, financial goals, which is enterprise value, revenues, and cash flow, and etc. So what we're trying to do is we want to increase the brand image. And today, I would like to tell you guys that the effective way of branding is using blockchain and NFT technologies. So before we move on, I will show you 2 different cases about the branding and blockchains. Number 1, BAYC, the Bored Ape Yacht Club. So most of you might have heard of this project before. It's one of the most successful and famous NFT projects held in this era right now. They have 4,900 hoarders, which is not that big, but they almost have 2.4K members in Reddit community, and they have 1 million followers in Twitter. And also, they recently opened an exhibition in Louvre Museum in Paris. So, and all these kinds of activities were made by the community users. Second, Starbucks Odyssey. Yes, this is the example of the corporates. They recently launched an NFT project, and they sold 2,000 NFT from Starbucks, and it was sold out in 18 minutes. And with those NFT, what people can do is they will complete the journeys that the Starbucks made for those blockchain communities, and they will get a journey stamp in case of when they're done with those journeys or the quest that the companies are giving. And they can actually trade it with the other people in the community, or they can actually use it to get a perks from the companies. So the 2 main things that is overlapping between these 2 cases is the community. So I'm telling you guys that community is very important these days in terms of membership, loyalty, and everything. And there's a reason, 5 different reasons. Number 1, belongings. I'm talking about this community of internet world. And internet is the rare place that everyone can feel belongs to something, and it's an internet community. And because they can feel they're belonging to the community, they can engage everywhere. Since if you have internet with your phone, you can engage anytime if it's possible. And since this community will be driven by users, they will trust those data that they found in the community itself. And whatever they found in the community will be counted as a discovery when they see those new ideas, new promotion, or new products in the community. For example, if the company sends out a new email to all the guests or the guests or customer that they have on their CRM, like 50% of people will open the email and they will actually just read the title and go back. They will actually not read the email fully and study it even shown by the numbers. But if those information is shared in the community in the same way, people will actually read it, they will compare it, they will start to discuss about those promotion emails that the company sends, and it will become more viral and more useful to the users. And of course, within the community, when they start to talk about it, it will influence those people in real life. And then it will keep moving around or between those 5 facts. So in the end, the study has shown that with the active community, they have 306% higher lifetime value than any other activities. And they will actually recommend brands at a much higher rate, which means that in hospitality industry, they will actually buy the rooms with the much higher rates, or they will actually purchase any services that hotel brands are suggesting. So, brands can harness the power of the community to make their message known. So, community is the best way to spread out the hotel brand's message to the customers or the guests. So, let's see the current situation of hospitality industry. Yes, huge numbers, right? Marriott, IHTF, Hilton, it's all well-known brands around the world. We have 125 million loyalty members listed on the system. But the funny thing is that, maybe some of you guys already know, only 50 actively use one or two hotel loyalty programs past 12 months, which means that almost the half of the data that they have on their system is like empty members that never have used in their system. And when we compare it to the community, for example, Reddit, which is one of the biggest community websites, and some of you might gonna think that it's for United States, but recently there's a number of users that I found for the Reddit is becoming more worldwide. When we compare the number of the loyalty program and Reddit community, it comes out to maximum 3% to lowest 0.0002%, which even there's a lot of people in the membership loyalty, but not a lot of actions are happening in the community itself between the customer and the guest. So here I see the potential and opportunity because we already have a lot of people in the membership. And this is not only for a chain hotel. I'm also talking about independent hotel. If independent hotel become all together and create one special membership loyalty program with blockchain and NFT, they can also create a community for independent hotel. And that's what I'm talking about. And also, the three fundamental things that human beings need to live is place to sleep, things to wear, and things to eat. And hospitality industry already takes care of two of the most important things, which is place to sleep and place to eat. So with mixture of these two important things with the people's lifestyle, I think it will definitely become a game changer. And I think this is time to change for hospitality industry with some of better ideas. So, but why blockchain and NFT? Why do we have to use this technology to create a community? And that is because it's very effective way to create a community than any other ways. One, trust and transparency. Since all the databases, all the activities that happens in the blockchain needs to be saved in each node and each block, and they will be linked together with the chain, and they can prevent any kind of frauds. So even by running a community, nobody can actually manipulate those data. So people will have more trust on those community. And community governance. Even though the community itself is made by the hotel brands, all the events and all kinds of decisions can be decided by the guest and the customer, whoever have that NFT or tokens of that community, which means that they will feel more involved and they will feel more engaged into that community. And community ownership, of course, they have the NFT and the tokens. If they do well in the community, and if that community become more famous and successful, they will, in the end, will receive some incentive and reward. For example, Starbucks Odyssey. If their journey stamp becomes more famous and familiar, their journey stamp value will go up, and they will get a reward as a money basis. So this is the difference between the old loyalty program that we have in hospitality industry, and the right side will be the future, that how it has to be changed. Currently, we get an online loyalty, we get a discount, and we purchase the room. But that's all. But in the future, now the guest needs to experience the loyalty. They will collect more stuff rather than a name of the loyalty, for example, gold, silver, platinum. Rather than that, they will get something more valuable to collect, and they will participate with those valuable things, and they will do a storytelling of the community. And one more thing, if we just use this program just for the membership, it's gonna be like losing our another opportunity to expand our business. And there are several ways that we can implement those blockchain technology, which is to B2C, direct to customers, also the events and marketing. But I would like to emphasize the funding part. These days, because of the war and global economy, the interest rate is raising, investment market is frozen. So some of the hotels or properties are having a hard time of building new properties around the world. But interestingly, St. Regis Aspen in the United States, they actually got a fundraising using blockchain technology, which is security token offering, and they completed 16.8 million USD, and it's also actively traded by the users right now. And now this property is very well running, operating right now in the United States. And we also have two ongoing projects under ONDA's name in Phuket, Thailand. The number one is a private villa with 10 different rooms. And number two is 6 different villas, independent villas. And these two have held a fundraising with the blockchain technology. And we are trying to create an independent membership loyalty community with the blockchain program. So, how to implement this kind of technologies and data? That's why ONDA is here. So, we have the exact way to how to run those kind of business, and we know how to run by each step, even for the marketing steps and all the operational steps. Since we have 80% of our colleagues and faculties have hospitality industry, all from different departments, which is from revenue, sales, marketing, and etc. We will discuss very deeply with each hotel brand who would like to implement this kind of technology into their companies. And you see the yellow box over there is the place where the hotel brands and ONDA will fight the most. What kind of benefit that you guys want to give it out to the customers? What kind of things that you would like to increase? You want to increase the revenue, or you want to increase the brand image, etc. So this is the part that we need to discuss deeply. And also by the tech side, we all understand about the blockchain minting and everything. We are ready to help you guys with those parts. And also we can give you some booking engine websites for 3.0, Web 3.0 websites. So whoever has that NFT of your brand can be authorized from our backend and get a reservation with the token that we have established for the customer. And those reservations will be fluently goes into your CRS or PMS system. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to come to our table outside there, and I will go on to the Q&A. Thank you.
Thank you, William. So quite a few steps there in order to sort of successfully have some sort of blockchain NFT strategy. So you showed quite a number of the big brands that have those big communities, and obviously they've got a huge number of travelers that would naturally migrate towards some of these Reddit communities, for example. But what about sort of, and then this last hotel in Thailand, was it?
Yeah.
You showed very unique properties, yeah. And I guess that would sort of inspire and excite a lot of people. But as a brand already in existence, as a small portfolio perhaps, how should they go about sort of building a community? And how is that different to, say, an email database?
Yeah. So what I'm saying, I already have mentioned during the presentation, for independent hotel, since they have very limited number of properties, what I'm suggesting is to gather up with some similar concept or similar size of the hotel to create an independent hotel association or etc. By that way, I think we can definitely get enough number of people who will be willing to join those kind of projects.
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly a lot more growth in that area over the last few years, a lot of more specialist hotel groups that are sort of forming in order to cater to particular niche audiences. And if you've got an independent hotel, then there's an opportunity to be able to find a community that you would fit into. But then as a small independent portfolio, you would either do the same, or would you look to build your own?
I would rather build the own loyalty program with the blockchain. It will be a much efficient way because the things that hotels can offer will be completely different with the big chains and stuff.
I'd take the opportunity just to open it out to the floor for any questions, so that you can contribute to this conversation, or if you've got any particular experience in trying to implement blockchain or NFTs in your business. Any experience out there that can contribute to this conversation, or any questions you're not particularly you'd like a little bit more, perhaps, insight in from our specialist here?
The lady over there also raised her hand in the middle.
Yeah, I was wondering with these, with the hotels that you've already set up, how does the NFT scheme look? How is it kind of presented? Is it through an app, or is it, you know, in the olden days, or whatever, you would have like a printed card?
So it's actually, let me see if this is working. Okay, this is not. All right, so it's gonna be created from our design team by the image in JPG or PNG, and it will be listed on the special website of your hotel brands. Yes.
Okay, so you can log in to
Yeah, log in and they will get a meeting depending on how you guys want to present those NFT to the customers.
So I mean, that really is an opportunity to expand digitalization of your brand and really sort of delve into that community that is particularly enthusiastic about NFTs and exchanging those.
There's very interesting model too. It's very similar to NFT, which is the SBT. It's soul-bound tokens. The NFT you can trade each other, right? So soul-bound tokens is like it's soul-bounded to yourself, so it cannot be traded. But you can take it as a ID card of your specific person. So if the hotel also issue an SBT of each person, each guest, they will probably have the name tag of that brand their whole life, and they can also use that SBT to check in, check out. Also, they can use that card to get into the door.
And then we end up into guest profiling and digging deeper a lot more into the behaviours of your specific guests. Over to the lady here in the middle, please.
I was just wondering, so do you use wallets? Because for NFTs you have to use crypto, right? But I mean, the market is still not ready, I think, for this. Are you thinking maybe a conversion to dollars, or are we preparing this for just crypto? How do you deal with this?
The thing is that it's still a basic step for the hospitality industry. So rather just shifting from paying the cash to the blockchain technology is still early stage. So I'm only thinking of using the blockchain as a loyalty program first, and we can actually suggest you to use the most famous wallet that currently exists in the market, or we can also create a specific wallet for the hotel brands.
I mean, as you say, it's so early on with blockchain and crypto, but it's going to come.
But
right? That's the scary thing, is
Yeah.
that by the time that we're retired, we're going to be struggling with trying to understand how we sort of exchange our NFT tokens. You know, our grandchildren will be there showing us.
One of the only reasons that we couldn't implement paying the rooms with the blockchain is due to the regulation and all the law and stuff. So if things get much better, for example, STO, security token offering, it's a new thing. The US government has actually approved to issue a security token by blockchains. So if each country start to grant those kind of things, then this whole industry will start to change. I think I definitely believe that.
I guess it's a bit like IT, or say,
Yes,
so like your IT security.
but the
data.
ITO is held by independent property or companies. So if they make a fraud, it's like they just run away. But for STO, it must be held with the government authorized place to issue a token security, because security is actually promised by the government and law, right? So that's why it's different with the IT. Yeah.
Out of interest, anyone in here work with or actually sort of invest in crypto, blockchain, or has been exploring it within their hotel properties or brands? Yes, Kim? Would you mind if you just give us a bit of where you are in your stages, or what, here at the front please, where you are at in your journey?
Well, not directly, but we work collaborating with a company that is tokenizing the bookings. You have a room for specific dates and so on, and building like a secondary market for that. That is, you have the booking that is tokenized through NFT, and then you have to cancel, or if you have to change it or whatever, you have that specific room.
So, almost like the last session we did on staffing, we'll start small rather than try to put the full infrastructure in place, identify those quick wins, those areas that you can really understand how you can tokenize, and then send that digital and then look to build that community around it. Anybody else can contribute to this before we close this conversation? Any questions? But ONDA, you're going to be here. Well, you're going to be here with your team, obviously in the blue hoodies there over the next couple of days, so you can learn a lot more about blockchain and the opportunities for the properties and how your tech plugs into that. Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.